Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne and you are watching Marianne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to the second half of the month of October Tarot, Oracle, and Love Connection reading and messages, guidance, and all the beautiful mystical aspects of life that come through when I do readings. And welcome definitely new and returning viewers. I love and appreciate every one of you. I am excited. We have a whole lot of difference from the beginning of the month readings. If you have not had a chance to read or watch those, please take the time, because it's really kind of fun to see just how changing it is. Particularly, this is a month that's more pronounced, I would say that way. But I will break down a little bit about the astrology, like I always like to do. The most important aspects and planetary, energies happening right now. For example, we're still in Libra season as I'm recording this, and through the 22nd of October. And we are still in the Libra Mercury retrograde, because it changes signs like all planets changing all the different signs. And that'll happen through the 18th. But I will say that we do also have Mars in Libra. I want to say that's through the 30th of the month. Please don't quote me on that. So there's a lot of fire and ambitious energy that's helping Libras and all of us, and reminding you that the energy of the Libra season, predominantly for the higher energy characteristics of Libra, is that of balance, striving for balance in everything, in all aspects of your life. Definitely relationships of all kinds, and of course my love connection readings are for all forms of love. Romantic and everything else that could be thought about is a love situation and bond or connection. And then we have just the aspect of wanting to be fair and peaceful and loving. I mean, Venus, one of the most beautiful feminine planets, because there aren't that many feminine planets. A lot of them have the masculine quality to them, as well as Libra as an air sign. So it's interesting, that too is about a balance, the yin and yang, if you were, because we have, Venus, your ruling planet. Venus is about love, absolutely. It's about magical kind of central energy and power and persuasion and physicality. Our senses are alive. We feel better when we look better. We just aesthetically want to be around things that are beautiful. It helps us to feel good. You know how that feels when you have a room or someplace that matters to you, your sacred space like this room, set up in such a way that it fills you, it fills your heart and your senses. And that's what Libra will do. And of course it has to do with the love and the heartstrings and all that, and just the most incredible romantic times, synchronicities can happen, serendipitous, meetings and things happen. And that's a very prominent energy as well. And we had a new moon in Libra that it's still being felt and can be throughout the rest of the month or longer. That's all about new beginnings, new inspirations, relationships, the list goes on. But the new moons are so good for setting those intentions. Excuse me. And the full moon in Aries is going to be pretty powerful, absolutely. It'll be our blood moon on the 20th. And that's the polar opposite sign to Libra. So once again, it's hugely about relationships and working through all the necessary aspects that maybe have been, stalled with the Mercury retrograde, here we go. Communication, speaking is cloudy at times. It's misunderstood more. Certainly transportation can be delayed. I've heard about people who were so set on their vacations and they were looking so forward to it, but their flights were canceled. And it's that type of thing. Mercury being the fastest planet, the more personal planet. And when it's in our sign or it's in a retrograde, everything just seems to slow down, and there's roadblocks, literally and figuratively. And you know what I realized, and I am certainly, because I'm older and kind of getting the swing of it finally, when I know they're coming, because there's 3, sometimes 4, next year will be 4 Mercury retrogrades, I know that these things will interfere, because they happen all year round. They're just more pronounced during a Mercury retrograde. And the slowing down part and the being more flexible and the time to relax and just rejuvenate and recheck or revisit or reinvent, all those things, it's a perfect time for that. And it makes sense because I love to be busy. I'm a Libra. I just celebrated my birthday over the past weekend and got these amazing flowers, which I'm showing off to everybody during my second half of the month readings. They're pretty astounding to me. My sister sent them. I'd never seen those. But it's a metaphor to me for the beauty and how the differences of all the colors meld together, and the contrast is what makes it beautiful, right? The merging together of it all, just all of it, which is what it's a dream of mine to have happen and to, create on this planet. Of course, I think it is for a lot of us, certainly those watching my channel, being that light towards that. And then before I lose the big picture, which I do a lot during Mercury retrograde. What was I saying? Oh, so yeah, no, I find that as a cardinal sign, I want to be busy, and that's what we do. We're initiators, we're pioneers, we initiate the seasons, fall being what Libra initiated, and then, Aries was spring, Cancer being a cardinal was summer, and then, of course, Capricorn's coming up with winter. So there's that newness, the change, the feel, the weather, the change of seasons and so forth that we all feel. We're all part of this, as I've always said, and we know that at this point. I think a lot of people recognize it more and more. But when that's not able to happen to the extent that we want, and things slow down with retrogrades and the planets that have been for months, the outer planets that are very important, heavy hitters, but they're slower moving, you just kind of want to go with it. It's more of a feeling where like, yeah, okay, so I'll work, and then I get this time to kind of rest and rejuvenate. And I really take it now as being a real blessing. And yeah, things get mixed up and all that, but you can laugh about it too. You can laugh or cry, whatever you choose. I love to cry, I'm not going to lie. It feels like a great cleansing for me a lot of times, but I definitely love to laugh. So yeah, a lot of changes with the powerful energies of planets moving forward. By the end of the month, all 6 that were retrograde for months and less time will be direct. In fact, Mercury turns direct on the 18th with Jupiter. Ooh, that's beautiful. Jupiter, it always has the effect still, even in retrograde, but when it's stationed forward and direct, it's even more powerful. And mixed with the Venetian energy, and then we're going into Scorpio season, which, by the way, I knew I'd get to it eventually. I like to read for a sign every day, and I attribute the readings to them and call it the featured sign, which today is the miraculous, beautiful, deep, Pluto-ruled, more modernly, sign of Scorpio. Emotion-filled, sensitive, and very, very deep. They can go in and they can be very real and truthful about what needs to be changed and purged, and energies that need to be looked through and sorted through, and certainly in love and relationships. We actually had Venus in your sign for a time, and I think last week is when it went into Sagittarius, which is fun for you. It's the sign right next to you. And so there's a lot of changes, like I said, but I think they're amazingly positive. There's a whole lot of love to be had, and I say grab it when you can. Intuition is very heightened during the month of October, closer to Halloween and so forth. So it's a beautiful time, and I honestly hope you're feeling that as you're watching this, but it'll definitely unfold and become more and more powerful. And then November is pretty strong for other reasons, which I'll get to at that time. But I am going to pick your highlighted connection, which I always do. Spirit wants me to pick this for all of the viewers and the featured, because it is a person you may be very well acquainted with, a connection of some sort, or one that you may be meeting. The new moon brings in things, retrogrades bring back people and circumstances, or it could be the energy itself of this particular characteristic or of the sign. So, you don't have to necessarily know immediately, but then I read the 4 major categories for this highlighted and for every one of your connections, okay, Scorpio? So let's see who it is for you for the second half of October. It's Libra. Okay, there you go. Well, how you doing? No, I know so many Scorpios, and we're right next to each other. So we definitely feed off each other, and there's a definite difference. There's the emotion, like I said, and the water and the depths. And Libra is fairness and air and mind and always thinking and detaching the emotions a lot of times, but definitely has them. I've had relationship of all kinds with Scorpio. I seem to be around them, and I have three big planets. What is it? It's Neptune, Venus, and North Node that are in Scorpio. So they're important influences in my life, and I've noticed that particularly more as I've gotten older. Once again, it's interesting how that works. So I always recommend that everybody watch their moon, rising, ascendant, or Venus along with your sun, because sometimes you're going to pick up energies that resonate far more than the sun, and then you just get more to find out about yourself and the information coming through for you. So let's get to the actual messages. I am using, for the second half of the month, my beautiful OK Tarot deck. It is my only pink deck, and I love it because I am honoring the Cancer awareness for the whole month of October, and I've been doing my little spiel, but I will say that I am a Cancer survivor, thank God, and I actually have very close people in my life that have passed away from it, and very close people in my life that have gone through the fight and have come through the other side. So my heart goes out to everybody who's experienced anything regarding that, and I pray, and I'm putting out an intention, as I did with the new moon, that this is it. This is the lifetime. This is where we get to see that cure that really, really makes a difference and helps the whole Cancer campaign. I hope you'll be with me on that in spirit, if nothing else. So for you beautiful Scorpios, intense and creative and fixed sign of Scorpio. Oh, they've been popping out lately, so I will pick this up. The overall energy for you, in addition with your connection with Libra, which makes sense because, we're in Libra season, you're probably picking up very clearly the energies. You're very perceptive and psychic and intuitive. So you understand, you felt that with the new moon, all the planets that are in Libra, it would be hard to not sense and feel that. And you want that balance in your life, just like everybody else does. So, the Two of Swords. Another Libra aspect, or Gemini, or Aquarius, which, the planet of Jupiter is in Aquarius, as is Saturn, and it will be to the end of the year. And actually, Saturn will go and stay in Aquarius through all of next year. So, a lot of interest in the air element aspect, the energies they bring, the mind, information is key, conversations of all kinds, written, spoken, dreams. And a crossroad, people say, I don't see it as a crossroad. I see it as two choices, and they have to do with what you've been thinking about, or ideas that you have in your mind, or you've had a partner you're thinking about working with, or having these discussions, and you're not quite exactly sure of which route to take, or you may take both. But what I did here, and I mentioned this before, that I love about this is that either choice will be the right one. And when you take one of the swords away, it's the ace, and that's the beginning and a new start and a new, idea, or perhaps a relationship, of course. But it's good, and it's solid, and it's straightforward, and it's direct, and it cuts away, the riffraff, which is something I know you like. You're pretty, black and white when it comes to you, Scorpio. There's not really a lot of gray. You are a fixed sign. That has something to do with it. But there's determination, and there's a directness. That's a notable characteristic of yours. And determined is an understatement. When you want something and you are set in your feelings about it, it will occur. 9 out of 10 times, it's going to happen. So that's okay. This is good. Possibilities, information, and more than one option. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's good for us sometimes to have to make those decisions, to go within and say, okay, really, let's think about this. Not too much, but let's really give it some thought, and let's feel out the situation. Libras learn a lot from you about that. So I really like that, because stay tuned. And yes, I do feel like it has to do with a partner in some form or another. It may have already been established and you're working with it, but with the retrograde, you still have some details to work out and a few more conversations before you feel like you're on the right path and it's moving forward. And that, I know that's going to happen with this beautiful full moon in Aries, that powerful, take charge energy of Aries, leader, courage, spirit, impulsive, like, yeah, it's happening. Mars ruled, that was your historically ruling planet. So you have an affinity to that feeling too. And you're ready to take charge. It's been great to have this rest and relaxation and what have you, but your birthday party's coming up. Your season's coming up too, and you want to have a lot of fun, and you don't want to be hanging out and not being able to do what you want to do. So I love the timing for that for you, Scorpio. And the second card is the possible blessings or obstacles. And you have the four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a beautiful, beautiful representation, and it speaks of balance, and perfectly when it comes to your foundation, your security, your family, your relationships. It's the four walls that keep you stable, basically, and it's one of the best cards. It really is. And it's, once again, the wands, the fire, the ambition to do whatever it is you need to do to create this for your life. But it looks as though whatever this choice is or this opportunity is, and remember, with the beautiful Jupiter, expansive opportunity, luck, and incredible, unusually wonderful things that can occur, magical, I like to say, miraculous occurrences with Jupiter. It is in Aquarius, so that's coming up, and that's great for you. It's great for all of us. And it might be having to do with just that. You're talking to an Aquarius, or like I said, Gemini or Libra, that's going to create this opportunity or two that's going to create this stability and this wonderful sense of accomplishment and stability. That's really the big word that's coming through. And fun too. I mean, it's not just about, got enough to eat now and everything. It's like, wow, everything is feeling amazing. Everything is coming my way. Things are working out, that type of energy. That's the four. So, yes, and by the way, the fourth house represents home and family and, those near and dear to us. So it could be having to do with maybe buying a new home, perhaps, or, we'll find out with this next category with finances, if that's a big key component. But moving, maybe it's not normally what I'm feeling, but definitely something big, a new business. It could be a new business venture or entrepreneurial endeavor you're doing, something which is happening a lot. After last year, it's like a lot of people said, the heck with that job. It was, you're let go, laid off, whatever it is. It gave us time to think, didn't it? We were forced to do that. A lot of us that had to be at home and maybe working from home, but realizing, yeah, you know what? I don't know if I want to be in that traffic again for the next few years of my life. And really coming up with some clever, beautiful ways to create our own, jobs and our own ideas. And you're incredibly creative and capable. You have a great mind as well for a water sign. I would say you're very in tune with the human psyche and how it works. And so that's beautiful. But yes, the third category will tell us even more, because it is about finances. And I mean money, of course, and I mean wealth, for whatever that means to you as an energy, because you feel and you understand. You probably very much, you have your finger on the pulse of the trends that are right, the right investments. You're very good and shrewd and very resourceful with your money. Therefore, you tend to amass great wealth in your lifetime. It's not because you don't work for it, though, I'll tell you that much. You're really good at putting your heart and soul into whatever it is you like to create. So we have, for finances, we've got, beautiful, the Ace of Wands. Woo! This is, you know what? It's beautiful and simple, but there's more to this than meets the eye. It's fantastic for new ventures. It's an ace. Once again, you have a couple options. You have this beautiful, fiery kind of foundation already and you want to just build, or you feeling like, okay, this is going to add to it, whatever this is, and this is, what do you want it to be? You know, what is that new moon? What was inspired with that, or maybe way before that? And what's going to come up for your birthday? And you know how you get special wishes answered on birthdays? You just do. It's just that time. It's a magical time, and that's coming for you. So I hope that you've had something special, but I wanted to say it's kind of a 2-message card. It definitely represents physical and intimacy, which, come on, we need to see that on occasion, right? But what I'm saying too is that you're fired up, and some really positive financial breakthroughs are coming through. Okay, and this is what this indicates. And there's no stopping it. It's already probably, like I said, in the making. But once that full moon in Aries, which is the fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo, I mean, bam, it's on. And it's going to be magical how probably quickly things come together. And then you'll probably feel really excited and, you know, more sensual as well. I don't know. That's a dual card there. That's for sure. Maybe a wonderful person that you care a lot about is going to come into some money and they're going to help you with this venture or something. I don't know. But there's some definite connotation of romance in there too, and fun. So I would be remiss not to mention that. But that's great. We all need that. And, you know, just embrace that. So the 4th category is surprises or wishes. And who knows what surprises are coming, right? I mean, we've all had our share of those. I feel like I want to emphasize these are the better surprises, and the wishes that we chose, and the surprises that we may be giving to other people, right? Or the surprise parties that are coming that you don't know about, but you probably do, but maybe not. But that'll be fun nonetheless. And I want to know and feel and see what Spirit wants you to know about that in connection with the reading. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, so this is, we have 2 swords, so 2 air and 2 fire. Okay, that's a kind of a good balance. That's perfect for Libra season, right? And just kind of like, okay, I got my mind and I got my spirit and the fiery energy in me, and I've got that all happening. But you have the 10 of swords. I'm glad it's this depiction because, you know, with the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's a man and he's on the ground, he's got 10 swords in his back. It's not the best, you know, feel when you get that. But here's the best part about it. It actually is good, because what it means is you're done with being stabbed in the back. You're done with being around the people that absolutely do not have your back. You're done with the false aspects or the hidden truths that seem to be circulating around the universe these days. You know, you certainly know what you find to be your truth. You've always been in touch with that really well. And the best part about a 10 is it's the end, starting a new cycle. So all of that has come. It's finally ending, and that's what your wish was. And that is what the surprise will be, because it may seem like it wasn't going to happen and you were just at your wit's end. But no, alas, once again, the new moon, the new Ace of Wands, the new cycle where you start up again. And I will add that it could definitely have to do with your well-being, your physicality. Not a doctor, simply bringing the messages through. Swords can definitely indicate, as well as wands, because wands are the physicality part of us and our, you know, our physical action that makes things happen. And just being aware and getting your checkups and making sure that, you know, you take care of that and you get the okay. And if something's concerning you, just look into it and find out about it, you know, and helping you out, or coming out of a series of, or a time that wasn't feeling so great physically for you. It's ending now, and that's beautiful. That's fabulous, especially for your birthday season, your solar return. You know, we want to feel our best, and sometimes we get too much in our head about the fact that we're turning another age or something. I do it all the time. I just did, but it's a reminiscent kind of thing. It's a cleansing. The Pluto aspect, you know, it's direct now. purging, getting rid of, and starting new, and focusing on what this beautiful Ace of Wands is going to be for the next year and the years that follow for you. So wonderful, wonderful reading, and it feels like you've got some really beautiful, stable energies with you, with new beginnings, absolutely changing your conversations, the people that you have in your life, your maybe something for your physical, maybe starting a new exercise regimen that is going to help lift and bring that energy back that you want. But yeah, I love this for you. We'll finish with the oracle messages though. We have 2 of those I like to incorporate. And the first one is going to be the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. This is Colette Baron Reed. She's amazing. Tons of decks. I think I have 2 of hers. So I just randomly pick, different ones for each month. And this came to me to do. And so this is for you, beautiful Scorpio. And remembering these messages are just sent from love. They're the guidance, the oracles, the knowledge and wisdom that's passed on to all of us. And that's actually in us. But it just reminds us of that a lot of times. And it speaks beautifully to the positive outlooks of life and where we are, where we can be, and so forth. And so for you, you have the Winged Wise Ones, angelic help, miraculous aid. Isn't that phenomenal? Well, that just, certainly maybe indecisions, but the ridding of the difficulty, whether it was just in your mind or something you thought about too much, or the people that were surrounding you that were just suffocating you or making you feel like, it was enough. You just can't do it anymore. It's done. And you don't want to be around that. And you can change that, and you know that. And that's what you're doing. And you're getting this angelic help and miraculous aid in the process. So look at this beautiful, beautiful illustration if you can see it. Hope it's not blurry. And it's purple. It's absolutely beautiful. Purple being one of the more royal and definitely... I would say psychic, intuitive, third eye kind of energy, but also just protective energy, like amethyst and those type of, jewels and stones that help for that. I have this beautiful amethyst little angel here, and I've got my little pointer I love so much. But yeah, I keep all these things. You can't really see that on my table. I'm figuring out how to make that work. But either way, let me read to you what it says, specifically for you, beautiful Scorpio, with the highlighted energy, as I said, of the Libra coming through in all of your relationships. It's number 34, which equals 7. And that can be magic. That can be incredible luck. It's also working through difficulties. 7 is so many different things, and there's so many references to the number 7. But it's definitely can be extremely good luck for you. So always allies and never challengers. The Winged Wise Ones represent the aid of all the angels. When you enter this realm, know that your sincere prayers will be answered according to the will of the divine. Well, I love hearing that for you. I don't remember picking this card in a long time, and I think it's beautiful. And let's see. This also represents divine intervention and the potential of miracles to heal and transform as if by magic. Okay, I'm going to go back to this because there's a healing energy. And that's super important. And, I know that things like that have happened. Our bodies change anyway. Every 7 years, our blood changes and so forth. But this is going to be something that maybe has been with you or concerning you. And it's really gotten you down in a way. And it's changing. This cycle is changing. Good heavens, that is so beautiful. I don't know if it was reversed or not. Either way, it still has the same meaning. It's just definitely about being aware of it and paying attention to it if it's reversed, making sure that you're not ignoring, but knowing that new cycle is starting. How beautiful. There's a little bit more, and then I'll go on to the last one. Have faith, whatever your circumstances. Heavenly beings are watching over you. The winged ones give you a glimpse of the future, glimpse. And by offering messages whispered on the wind. They are translated within you as inspired thought, instantly unraveling the past and revealing the present. That sounds pretty much like a Plutonian kind of energy, changing and you know, transforming and all that beautiful stuff. And you represent the death card, the major arcana, the death card. So that's all about transformation again. Not figuratively always when it's death, but everything must die and then be reborn and relive in the seasons and the changing of the trees and the leaves to start fresh again and so forth. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I'm sidetracked. I apologize. I'm going to be finishing with your super attractor manifestation message, where we manifest the life we want because we bring it into our existence by feeling it into existence. And you're super good at the feeling part. That's what you're about. That's your all raw emotion. That's what the water signs represent. You know, they feel everything. They sense everything. It's a lot at times, right? It's beautiful, and I do think of it as a gift, you know, and I know that even that needs to have its balance too. So for you, beautiful Scorpios, ending your reading, thank you for being here. If you would like to support my channel, just a like, a share, a comment, a subscription would be fabulous. There's no, you're not indebted to anything with subscribing. It's like following me on the channel, so I'd like to make that clear, but it means a lot. I appreciate it. Ooh, okay, that's pretty special and spiritual and ominous and kind of mysterious like you are. When I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally. Support will surround me and movements will form. A lot of movements out there in the world. We all have to put in our part for that, right? We got to make that movement happen. And then things grow, and it's just so abundant and beautiful. I like that for you. It's beautiful. I actually really like this reading. And like I said, if you don't resonate, follow your sun, well, this is the sun, but your moon, rising / ascendant or Venus. Sometimes it's quite remarkable how that can be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about. So, but thank you again for your time. And I look forward to hopefully having you come back for the November reading. So until then, happy birthday and happy Halloween. Bye for now.